The Aces, though, they did clinch home court advantage with that win. So 5 playoff spots they're locked in here, starting with the Liberty as the 1 seed, right? And then the 2nd-seeded Lynx, who are going to face the Mercury in the only matchup that we know so far that is fully set. So then look at the 3 and 4. They're still up for grabs between the Sun. There you go, right there. And then 3, the Aces, will face Caitlin Clark and the Fever in round 1, while 4 will get the Storm. And then you see the Dream, the Mystics, the Sky. They're all still fighting for that 8th seed. So let's bring Rebecca Lobo back into the conversation here. With the WNBA playoffs just right around the corner, what are you watching most closely on this final night of the season?
Yeah, tomorrow night I'm going to be laser focused on the Connecticut-Chicago matchup. And Connecticut is the team that has their own destiny in their hands. If they win, they finish 3rd, and they play against Indiana. Indiana, a team that Connecticut went 3-1 against in the regular season. If Connecticut loses, they could end, and Vegas wins, Connecticut could end up in 4th, and then they have to play the 4-5 game against Seattle. Seattle beat Connecticut twice this season. They only played 3 times, but this is a Connecticut Sun team you would imagine is going to be playing all out, trying to win and have a potential to get that 3 seed and play against Indiana.
Look, I'm trying to keep myself together because I'm trying to do my job as an analyst, but my eyes, as I've said all week long, has been on that 4 and 5, and more so because that is the slimmest margin of error when it comes to competition, because the competition is so close. You have 4 and 5, whereas, you know, you could have 8 versus 1, where maybe the divide in talent and the accomplishment of the season is much different. But 4 and 5, looking at potentially Las Vegas Aces and Seattle Storm, I love this because these are 2 veteran-led squads that can go head-to-head. Let's start with Las Vegas. They're coming off as the back-to-back champs. Asia Wilson having the greatest scoring season in WNBA history. The guards are rounding into form. You've got Jackie Young, you've got Kelsey Plum, and then most importantly, Chelsea Gray. It seems like every game she gets a little bit more comfortable coming off of the injury that we watched in the WNBA Finals last year, but still she got an Olympic gold medal alongside this court. Now, if we flip over to the Seattle Storm, one thing we talk a lot about on this program, hey sis, with a mini, one thing we talk a lot about in this program is in the NBA, it's hard to win in the first year when you assemble big threes, when you assemble super teams. Asia Wilson was the first one to say when my sister and Skylar Diggins signed, Ogwumike, by the way, signed to the Seattle Storm, why aren't we talking about them being a super team? It's been a while for them to figure out their chemistry, but even without some key pieces, you can see that they have the right energy on both ends to make a push. If these 2 teams go head-to-head, it is going to be good because they have veteran leadership, but they also have the game, the IQ to really make one of the best matchups we've seen in playoffs.
Right, that'll be all chess.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Yes, please.
Now, the last thing I'll say, and Rebecca, I think you'll really appreciate this, Miss UConn. I don't know if you've caught the Phoenix Mercury teasing Diana Taurasi, saying, if this is it, keep an eye on the Phoenix Mercury because no one really knows, but there are few opportunities to appreciate the all-time leading scorer in WNBA history overall.
We've had enough GOAT retirement for the day. I know we're not
Thank you.
With just one for the day. So let's focus in on maybe the youth talent a little bit too, Rebecca, because you did bring up Caitlin Clark and the Fever a little while ago. Do you think there's a team that Indiana, they're young, they're inexperienced, would rather see in round 1?
I think they would certainly rather see the Connecticut Sun. Their other potential opponent would be the Vegas Aces. Vegas is a team, the only team that Indiana has not beaten so far in this regular season. In their last matchup with Connecticut, yes, Connecticut beat Indiana 3-1, but in the most recent matchup, Indiana won that game because of their offensive firepower. I think this is a series that could certainly go 3 games and would be a more favorable series for Indiana than facing Vegas.
The W playoffs, they are almost here, and
it's on fire.
Wait,
that's a segue for you.
I get it. It's on fire. Rebecca Lobo, thank you so much. And Chiney, she just segued us perfectly to a developing story right now out of the W because it keeps growing. The league announced this morning that they will be expanding yet again, adding their 15th franchise to Portland in 2026, 24 years after folding, right? The Portland Fire. This is coming on the heels of the Golden State Valkyries, who will be debuting in the W next season.
Breaking news into First Take this morning. ESPN senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski has agreed to become the general manager of the men's basketball program at St. Bonaventure. He told ESPN, Woj is a St. Bonaventure graduate and has a strong relationship with the program. Woj released a statement that read in part, after all these years of reporting on everyone's team, I'm heading back to my own. Stephen A., obviously Woj, a friend of all of ours. This is absolutely shocking. I can't think more highly of any colleague here at ESPN. And all I can say before I kick it to you is obviously we know he had a big-time contract here at ESPN. He's the best of the best, and I know it's a daunting job here to be an insider. I hope this is a happiness move for him.
So do I. I've gotten to know Woj over the last couple of years working on NBA Countdown. He's the best in the business. He's the best in the business. Make no mistake about it. Nobody's more well-connected. Nobody's more respected. And to be around him and to just to be able to touch on a wealth of knowledge that he's had in all of his years covering the league, the context that he has, the inside information that he's had. He's led this place for quite a long time. As you well know, there are many, many occasions where we won't even go on the air and report something unless we hear from Woj first. He's meant that much to this place. He's a part of this institution, somebody that, you know, just speaking on behalf of the whole NBA Countdown team and all of us who have worked with him over the last few years, he's the best in the business. He's absolutely exceptional, a high-end professional. He has my profound respect, and I just hope that this is a very, very happy move, and I anticipate that it is, because we certainly didn't ask him to leave. I can assure you of that. This is something that he's doing of his own volition, so one would surmise that he's incredibly happy and comfortable with the decision that he's making, and if anybody deserves to be in a position to make this kind of information for the betterment of their quality of life, he would be that individual. He loves St. Bonaventure, make no mistake about it.
Sure does love those Bonnies. Yep.
He does.
But I'm happy for him,
Yeah.
but I'm sad for us as a network because
Absolutely.
it's a devastating loss for us to not have him.
100%.
Yeah, big loss. And obviously he loves the college basketball. He loves the Hurleys, wrote the great book on Bobby Sr.
Yeah.
He knows the Connecticut program basketball-wise like you wouldn't believe.
Hurley
And you know, St. Bonnie, that St. Bonnie's crew, Mike Vaccaro, the New York Post is another one. There is Bob Lanier. There is a lot of loyalty to St. Bonnie's. Little old Olean, New York, middle of nowhere. They love St. Bonaventure. They should have had the 1 year they had the great year, and Ford and Lanier got hurt. Chris Ford, it's a famous play. Anyway, to make a long story short, it had to be a tremendous opportunity. He wasn't going to leave ESPN for something he didn't like.
Yeah.
So good for him. If he wanted to go to St. Bonnie's, I give him a lot of credit.
Absolutely. And I just want to say this lastly. Everyone who works in media works incredibly hard, right? A lot of different hours. The job never stops. But to be an insider is truly next level. So I'm not saying that being a GM it isn't much, but I hope for quality of life as well.
A lot of pressure being an insider.
This is a good move for him. We wish him all the best. He's a friend and much respect.